Hi, today I'm going to be talking about the attributes of Baal, and I believe these are listed in chapters 5 and 6 of my book. And if you recognize any of these traits of Baal in yourself or in others in your life, know that he's afoot, and you need to buy my book to read about these in detail and to get the specific prayers in chapter 8 on how to bring Baal down. I received these prayers directly from the Lord Jesus Christ. I am a seer, and I have divine visitations with the Lord Jesus Christ often, and he gave me these prayers specifically. And don't forget, at the beginning of chapter 8, I give you the instruction to ask Abba Father to work through you directly. This is because of Baal's hierarchy in the spiritual realm of wickedness. Let's get started. Baal works through both men and women, but for the purposes of this video, I will be referring to Baal in the male gender. Baal is treacherous, unreliable, providing insecure footing or support. Baal is not one to call when you have a need or an urgent requirement. Baal is betraying, disloyal. He will take the side of your enemies, and he will ruin your reputation. This is where he cohorts and works with Jezebel. Remember, Jezebel had Naboth killed by the townspeople and ruined his reputation. Baal refuses to listen and avoids communication. I had 2 Baals in my life that would literally plug their ears and hum when I would talk because they didn't want to hear what I had to say. Baal causes a Christian to compromise and struggle to stay on the vine. Remember, Jesus said, I am the vine and you are the branches. Baal goes to great lengths above and beyond to cause great damage or great hurt. And he may do this by repeating the same offensive action over and over again. I talk about this a lot in my book. These actions are often done with cruelty. Baals are very cruel, and I talk about that a lot in my book. Whether due to the type, amount, or both, the person operating in Baal is extremely cruel in great lengths and repeat actions so that it becomes cruelty beyond measure. So, Baal is very stubborn and unrepentant and unapologetic. This is also an attribute he shares with Jezebel. Jezebel is unapologetic. This is an attribute of Baal that stands him out from the others and from the crowd. Baal does not fear God or the dignitaries of God or the plans and purposes of God. Baal abandons, Baal rejects, Baal nitpicks. That's an attribute that he shares with Ahab, the spirit of Ahab, the nitpicking. Possessions and the plans and purposes of Baal take precedence over people. Baal is easily angered. Baals cannot maintain paths of peace. This is especially important if the Baal is a Christian. He will often leave and suddenly and frequently go from doing right to doing wrong. Here's another one that's important to a Baal, to a Christian that's operating in the attributes of Baal. Wicked counsel. Baals will often entertain and surround themselves with wicked counsel. I had a Baal in my family who was wanting to divorce their committed Christian spouse for no reason, had no biblical reason, and was visited by the church and counseled by the church many times. And this family member still went with wicked counsel and divorced their committed Christian spouse. And here's the great lengths, folks. Here's what I'm talking about. Great lengths with cruelty. Moved in with the new spouse who was unbelieving, and the new spouse was an unbeliever, and moved into the Christian next door to the Christian spouse who had the children, paid no attention to the children, and moved in next door to them with the unbelieving spouse and paid no attention to the children. So this is what I'm talking about, folks, with going to great lengths to cause the most harm and hurt and pain and rejecting and abandoning. And you can see it right there. A Baal will inflict self-harm, cutting themselves. If you will recall in the Bible, the prophets of Baal cut themselves, and also the people of Shechem, and I've also heard it pronounced Shechem, worshipped Baal, and they also cut themselves. That's in the Bible. Here's another attribute that Baal shares with Jezebel. Baal will make you feel like you can't or don't hear from God. Baal will make you feel like you cannot, that God cannot win against him, that he's more powerful than God. And finally, Baal will avoid intimacy and will cause a Christian to stop worshiping. If you're married to a Baal, he will avoid intimacy with you, will avoid going places with you, will avoid, just drawing near to you and sharing dreams and their soul with you. They will avoid sharing their mind, will, and emotions with you. And of course, worship is intimacy with God. Yeah, and I've seen Baals in worship services and will not sing a single note. So, summarily, these are the attributes of Baal. If you have noticed any of these attributes in yourself or in someone you know that Baal is afoot. And I would suggest buying my book and reading how these attributes are detailed, and learning how to deal with them and learning how to bring Baal down. Thank you for watching this video, and if you have any questions, you can always reach me on my website, www.iambaal.com. author JeannieKravchenko.com. That's author www.authorJeannieKrav as in Victor CHENKO.com. Thank you, love you, and kick the Baals out of your life.